Magistrate approves a site plan for 3,700 more homes in the villages. Another apartment complex coming to County Road 462. Duke Energy in Florida to reduce the customers' bills starting in January. The AHC has many questions about the acquisition of developers' new rec center. Walmart wants to cut down 11 historic trees to make way for a new store. A man claiming to be cold set his shoes on fire. The Villages has announced a championship golf race beginning January 1. A son was arrested for allegedly abusing his ill mother and using her money to buy booze. Quilts of Valor pay tribute to veterans of World War II. Pets desperately need homes as Sumter County Animal Shelter is filled to brink. Golf cart erupts in flames at Lake Sumter Landing. Fired leasing agent at Lofts at Brownwood arrested on vandalism charges. Andy Williams' Christmas Show brings back holiday memories at Savannah Center. Letters to the editor. How many holes in ones of golf did we get this week? This and more coming up. A site plan for up to 3,700 homes on about 1,483 acres in the Villages of Southern Oaks was recommended for approval Tuesday by Special Magistrate Lindsay C.T. Holt at a meeting of the Wildwood Planning and Zoning Board. Property north of Middleton abuts the Lake County line east of County Road 470 and also known as Central Parkway and is bisected by Marsh Bend Trail. Owners are the Villages Development Company and the Buffalo Hide-In Cattle Company, an entity linked to the Villages. The barebones infrastructure site plan shows the substantial number of open spaces, wetland preserves, and some areas designated non-residential, but lacks details about recreation and other amenities. It does not show interior roadways. The Wildwood City Commission will take up the site plan at an upcoming meeting. Wildwood has authorized constructions of nearly 50,000 homes south of State Road 44 in Southern Oaks, which will nearly double the size of the Villages north of 44 when they are completed. Eventually, the Villages is expected to reach State Road 48 at the city limits of Center Hill. The Villages Land Company has acquired nearly 16,000 acres in South Wildwood that is designated for age-restricted development. Age-restricted. The Casablanca is the latest apartment project in Wildwood. Special Magistrate Lindsay C.T. Holt recommended approval of a plan for the 55-unit development at a meeting Tuesday of the Wildwood Planning and Zoning Board. The recommendation is contingent on resolution of a utility easement. The Wildwood City Commission likely will consider the project soon. The Casablanca will be located on County Road 462 at County Road 134 near St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church. Apartments will be constructed in a pair of two-story buildings on about 6 acres. The project includes space for a pool deck to be designed by others according to the site plan, which also shows 53 parking spaces in 3 lots. The property also will have a dry storm water management area and a nearby retention pond. A 4-foot black aluminum retaining wall bolted to the top of a fence will provide buffering. County Road 462 north of County Road 466A has been a focal point for apartment construction in Wildwood. Other projects include Turkey Run, 325 units, Beaumont Apartments, 336 units, and Solomar, which is 243 units. Duke Energy of Florida will reduce customer rates in 2024. That's good news. The Florida Public Service Commission unanimously approved Duke Energy's request to lower rates starting in January 2024. A typical residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours will see a decrease in their January 2024 bill of $11.29, or about 6% when compared to December's bill in 2023. Commercial and industrial customers will see a bill decrease between 5.6 and 7.2%, but the specific bill impact will vary depending on several factors. The bill reduction includes storm recovery costs combined with lower fuel and capacity costs of 2024. By combining Hurricane Idalia costs with the remaining balance of prior storms and previous filed bill reductions like lower fuel costs, we are able to provide some much-needed bill relief to our customers, Duke Energy Florida State President said. We will continue to take steps to provide the best possible price for our customers while delivering the reliable, cleaner energy customers deserve. The company encourages customers to take advantage of the numerous flexible billing and energy saving programs. To learn more about those programs, visit dukeenergy.com seasonal bills. You guys think you got nuts where you live? Well, we got them here too. An armed Ohio felon claiming to be a Moorish national was arrested at a local Walmart. Michael Lamar Ward, 37, was driving a silver Ford SUV at about 1 p.m. Sunday when his vehicle nearly struck 3 people and then hit the curb at the Walmart in Bushnell. The vehicle did not have a license plate, and Ward was not wearing a seatbelt. Ward claimed he was a member of the sovereign citizen movement, the Moorish American National Republic. Well, at least now we know who to blame. Ward was in possession of a loaded 9mm Taurus handgun and provided a false name and date of birth. A fingerprint check revealed his true identity. Deputies learned that Ward had been convicted of a felony in 2010 in Miami Township in Ohio. Miami Township, is that Cincinnati or is that Columbus, Ohio? He was arrested on a charge of carrying a concealed weapon, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, and providing false information to a law enforcement officer. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center, where a hold was put on his custody by the state of Ohio. Good. Bye-bye. The acquisition of a new Cordoba Recreation Center from the developer prompted many questions Wednesday from members of the Amenity Authority Committee. The new recreation opportunity is located in the Hacienda Hills area where the demolition of the Country Club restaurant sparked sadness and outrage in 2020. Will include a resort-style pool, sports courts, walking paths, open spaces, and a new postal station, according to the presentation before the AAC at Savannah Center. The Recreation Center will be located next door to the yet-to-be-constructed 24-unit Marbella Villas, which will be located between the Cordoba Recreation Center and the new Hacienda Hills Golf Club. The presentation by district staff indicated that the Cordoba Recreation Center facilities will be conveyed to the AAC at no cost. The developer will continue to collect the amenity fees from the 24 new units and in return will provide janitorial services, utilities, and maintenance of the recreation facilities. AAC member Richard Benson said that this is a departure from the way such transitions have taken place in the past. Here you are saying you own it, but you don't own it, and the developer keeps the amenity fees, Benson said. AAC Chair Donna Kempa asked what would happen if a sinkhole opened up under the recreation facility, which the developer has pledged to repair and replace. However, the AAC would be the landowner. We ran into this with the bridge at Lake Sumter. It's not the bridge, it's the land, Kempa said. In the case of the embankment at the bridge at Lake Sumter, the project-wide advisory committee wound up on the hook for a remedy that will cost residents, you and me, more than $1 million. Here's my complaint about this. Things need fixed over time. I get it. It's a public road. Everybody in Sumter County and the state of Florida or from Ohio or anywhere else in the United States can drive across that bridge. And you're saying we got to pay for it. I don't get it. If it's a Sumter County bridge, how's come the county or the state of Florida ain't kicking in here? Kemp initially said she wanted to see the matter tabled until January to provide time for answers to the questions of the AAC members. Fellow member Jim Vaccaro also said he wanted to table the approval until January. However, others said they were ready to move forward as long as the remaining questions would be answered before the chair signed on the dotted line. Don't be in a hurry, folks. It's not going anywhere. I would just as soon go with it now, said Rich Cole, who represents the Village Center Community Development District Board of Supervisors on AAC. In the end, all the members voted to move ahead, with the exception of Vaccaro, who voted against the approval of the motion. Just between me and the Gatepost, and from what I've seen around here over the last 25 years, I'm on Vaccaro's side. Move forward with caution. Don't get in no hurry. Don't have to. Kind of makes you wonder sometimes when you read these stories, and I'm not pointing fingers, who's protecting who here? Walmart wants to cut down 11 historic trees to make way for a new store. The 60,718 square foot Walmart building will be located on 20.43 acres at the northwest corner of the Hammock Oaks community near the intersection of County Road 466 and Cherry Lake Road. The property was previously pasture land. The question of the removal of the trees will be put to Lady Lake Planning and Zoning Board when its members meet 5:30 p.m. Monday, December the 11th at Lady Lake Town Hall. Well, this is a late report. James Harvey and Coulter Land Partners, LLC, on November 13th filed a request for the tree removal on behalf of the property owner, S.K. Hammock Oaks. There are a total of 21 historic trees on the property where the new Walmart is to be built. Of the 11 live oak trees to be removed, 2 were determined to be in poor health. The developer of the Walmart would pay $68,100 into the town's tree bank as a mitigation fee. If you guys remember the porch a few months ago, what was it, a 7-Eleven? They were building a 7-Eleven somewhere, and there was 1 or 2 historic trees on that site. The Spanish oak trees here, southern oak trees, whatever you want to call them, they're a protected species in the state of Florida. You can't just cut them down. You get caught, and they've been caught here doing it. It's serious. They did not get approval to remove the trees. And why they just didn't asphalt around them or something, I don't know, because I've seen that done before, and it looks great. But anyway, they didn't. But accidentally, somehow, whatever they were doing with a backhoe or a crane, I'm not sure, they accidentally hit that tree and killed it. That's the last I heard about it. A man claiming to be cold set his shoe on fire in the parking lot of a real estate office in Lady Lake. Michael Ivan Dubberly, 38 of Leesburg, shortly before midnight Tuesday, was about 5 feet from the front door of Foxfire Realty at U.S. Highway 27 and 441 and County Road 466 when his shoe was fully engulfed in flames, according to the arrest report of Lady Lake Police Department. A Lady Lake police officer arrived on the scene and used her fire extinguisher to put out the flames. He was arrested on charges of setting a recreational fire and disorderly intoxication. He was booked at the Lake County Jail on a $1,000 bond. Yeah, he must have went shoeless. These cops have got to have a secret place where these guys get together and go, you ain't going to believe what I saw today. This guy, you're just not going to believe this. I used to know a lot of cops in Indiana, state police officers mostly. They would tell some stories that was just unbelievable. Some of them were just horrific. And some of them, you just could not stop laughing. Villages has announced the championship golf race beginning January 1. The race will be in effect January 1 through May 31, 2024. The Orange Blossom Hills Championship Golf Course is still the most affordable championship course in
Florida's friendliest hometown,
with the enhanced member rate of $36 and a non-resident rate of $76.50. The costliest championship course with an enhanced member rate of $56.50 and non-resident rate of $97 is the Southern Oaks Championship course. Unlimited play tee times after the afternoon wave include unlimited play at the same course based on availability for the remainder of the day. The 9-hole rate is applicable. This includes tee times beginning at 2 p.m. at Orange Blossom Hills, Tierra del Sol, and Southern Oaks any day. Not applicable for golf car rental. 9-hole play due to the demand for 18-hole tee times. The 9-hole rate is available before 8 a.m., beginning at 1 p.m. and anytime on Saturday and Sunday. Early bird times are available on most days at each of our country clubs, excluding Orange Blossom Hills, Tierra del Sol, and Southern Oaks, from 7 a.m. to 7:20 a.m. These are 9-hole tee times and can only be scheduled by calling the golf shop directly up to 3 days in advance. Rain checks are only issued in the event of inclement weather. Players playing 18 holes will be issued a full rain check if have not yet teed off on their 5th hole. After teeing off on the 5th hole, 18-hole players will be issued a rain check of 50%. If they have not yet teed off on their 14th hole, for those playing 9 holes, a full rain check is available if they have not yet teed off on their 5th hole. After teeing off on the 5th hole, no rain checks are available. Get all that? Let's have some more news. A fired leasing agent at the Lofts of Brownwood has been arrested on vandalism charges. Jeremy Robert Powell, 31, of the village of Sable Chase, was arrested Friday on 2 counts of criminal mischief. This guy looks familiar. If this is the guy I think it is. Anyway, let's read on. I think this guy's been in trouble before. Powell, who was arrested earlier this year after defecating on a romantic rival's truck at Oxford Oaks. This is the guy. He broke up with his girlfriend, or truthfully, she probably broke up with him. He's following him around, I think, somewhere now. Anyway, he catches her dating some other guy. He has a jealous fit. He gets mad at her. So in the middle of the night, I guess, he sneaks over to her house, wherever that may be, climbed up on top of her car, and took a dump on her car. And they caught the guy, I think, by looking at surveillance cameras in the area. Now, picture this in your mind. The police officer says, we'd like to see the surveillance cameras, see if we can find out who done this. And they're sitting there in their uniform and their guns, looking at the surveillance as he pulls his pants down and proceeds to take a poo-poo on her car. I would like to have been there when these guys were watching that surveillance tape. Well done, officer. Oh, gosh. Powell, who was arrested earlier this year after defecating on a romantic rival's truck at Oxford Oaks, was captured on surveillance at Brownwood on November 7 in connection with the vandalism of two vehicles, according to an arrest report of the Wildwood police. One of the vehicles that was vandalized belonged to the same man whose vehicle was damaged in February at Oxford Oaks. The other vehicle belonged to that man's brother. After the defecation incident in February, Powell was fired from his job at the lofts at Brownwood. He was ordered to stay away from the premises, according to the arrest report. Powell's black 2017 Kia Forte with Illinois plates was captured on November 7 in the vicinity of the village's commercial property management, where the brothers work. Both of their vehicles were found to have fresh scratch marks. Powell was placed on probation earlier this year in the vandalism incident at Oxford Oaks. The Wakanda, Illinois native had been at the wheel of the black Kia with Illinois plates at about 11:30 p.m. July 4th, 2021, when he was arrested on a drunk driving charge. You crazy kids. A villager was arrested after drinking and dancing at a town square. Janet Melinda McKnight, 66, of the Ivy Stone Villas, was driving a gray 2012 Toyota at a high rate of speed at about 8:30 p.m. Friday on El Camino Real, according to the arrest report. She was caught on radar traveling at 56 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. During a traffic stop, a deputy noticed that she had a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emanating from her breath. She said she had been dancing for more than an hour at Spanish Springs Town Square, where she had 2 cups of Pinot Grigio, I'm not a wine drinker, wine with food. McKnight said she decided to leave because a male was getting too touchy on the dance. That was fucking good. McKnight said she decided to leave because a man was getting too touchy on the dance floor. She was asked to participate in field sobriety exercises, but complained to the deputy that she has had back surgeries and has had a screw in her left foot. Didn't she just say she was dancing for 2 hours? Just saying. The deputy pointed out, I should just shut up and read. The deputy pointed out McKnight said that she had been dancing at the square. She struggled through the exercises and had trouble maintaining her balance. She refused to attempt the one-legged stand. She provided breath samples that registered 0.03 and 0.028. Well, that's well below DWI standards. Because she was below the 0.08 limit, the deputy asked McKnight for a urine sample. She was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence and ticketed for speeding. She was booked at Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $1,000 bond. There might be more to this case later on. There's some things here left out. He asked for a urine sample, but she didn't give it to him standing right there. I'm pretty sure. They take lady officer, they go somewhere, and even though she was booked or charged with DUI, they don't, as of right now, the way I see it is, they don't have the evidence for that. Villager George Streeter was walking out of Panera Bread at about 9 a.m. Monday when he spotted a golf cart in flames at Lake Sumter Landing. He first noticed a billowing smoke. I walked closer and saw a cart completely engulfed in flames, he said. A Sumter County Sheriff's deputy was on the scene, but the village's public safety department had not yet arrived on the scene. It marked the third major golf cart fire this year in the village's
friendliest hometown.
In September, a golf cart erupted in flames at Brownwood. In August, a golf cart was completely incinerated after catching fire on the multimodal path near the village of Bridgeport at Lake Sumter. Golf cart fires here do happen. I don't know what causes all of them, probably a multitude of things. A man arrested in a strange incident earlier this year at Brownwood Paddock Square has been ordered to perform community service. Zachary Taylor Zensker Steck, name will be in the picture. 29 of Lady Lake is poised to escape prosecution on a felony drug charge after entering into a pretrial intervention contract last month in Sumter County Court. He must perform 80 hours of community service, as well as seek a substance abuse evaluation and follow any recommended treatment. If he completes the terms of the contract, the drug charge will be dismissed. A community watch officer was on patrol at 2:20 a.m. July 8th when he spotted Stezerneck pulling on the door. I'm laughing at myself. That's not Stezerneck. I just made that up. When he spotted Sternesteck pulling on the door handle at Harvest Restaurant. A Wildwood police officer soon responded to the scene and conducted a pat-down of Sternesteck. He was found to be in possession of methamphetamine. Pets desperately need homes at Sumter County Animal Shelter. It's filled to brink. With the shelter filled to the brink with adorable dogs and cats, Sumter County Animal Services has plenty of furry gifts, desperately looking for their forever home. Animal Services is holding a special home for the holidays adoption or fostering event from 2 to 4 p.m. Thursday, December 14th at the Village's Sumter County Service Center at 7375 Powell Road in Wildwood. The home for the holidays adoption event will then continue until December 23rd at Animal Services at 819 County Road 529, Lake Penisofsky. 6 World War II veterans were honored with quilts of valor and lapel pins this past week at Mission Barbecue in Lady Lake. Quilts of valor were made to thank veterans for their service and act as personalized reminders of their sacrifice to the nation. Led by Sheila Robbins, the Quacky Quilters, which is a chapter of the Quilting Guild of the Villages, makes the quilts by hand to be given to the veterans in the company of friends and family. A couple of the quilts for this presentation were provided by the Sewing Studio Patriotic Group. A quilt of valor is unequivocally says, thank you for your service, sacrifice, and valor in serving our nation. L. Urban was the first to be wrapped in a quilt in front of a restaurant full of supporters. He served as a sergeant in the Army from 1942 to 1946. It's an honor, said Urban. Alfred Colbeth served as an equipment operator chief in the Navy Seabees or Construction Battalion from 1942 to 1946. Robbins thanked him for his service before he rejoined the other veterans. Dale Noble served as lieutenant colonel in the Army from 1942 to 1970. Seeing both World War I and the Korean War, he recounted his time in the military, stating he enlisted at 17 years old after being worried he would not get out of school in time to join the war effort. He remembered that he and his wife, who passed away 3 years ago, loved traveling and meeting wonderful people. I really appreciate what you all are doing here, said Noble. This is great. Charles Rule served as a gunner mate, first-class petty officer in the Navy from 1944 to 1946. He joined the military out of high school, but recalled his mother asking him to never get a tattoo. Listen to your mother. Which he did not. Rule also stated that every veteran in the room planned to give their life and everything they owned to the United States of America, which he called the greatest country in the world. Floyd Austin served as a signalman, a first-class petty officer in the Navy from 1944 to 1946. After World War II, he was shipped to China for 7 months. It was a good experience, said Austin, of his time in the service. Robert Bill, who was meant to be at the presentation but did not make it for reasons unknown, served as a private first class in the Marine Corps from 1943 to 1946. After Robbins thanked the vets, guest quilters, and Mission Barbecue, representatives from the Military Order of the Purple Hearts began handing out honorable service lapel buttons, also known as the ruptured duck pin. These were issued to soldiers to be worn on the left lapel of civilian clothing after being discharged. Jim Dow, an Air Force veteran of the village of Charlotte, and Mike Parker, a former Department of Defense special agent, pinned the aforementioned veterans and several others in the crowd. Among them was Irving Locker, a 99-year-old World War II veteran who fought the Nazis in Normandy at the age of 19. Man, that was... If you kids know your history, that was tough. To conclude the event, Mission Barbecue offered all the veterans and their families a free lunch. And everybody said, thank you for your service. A son has been arrested for allegedly abusing his ill mother and using her money to buy booze. He's always been such a good boy. Joseph James Stockland, 44 of Wildwood, was arrested Thursday night by Sumter County Sheriff's deputies. His 66-year-old mother told deputies that her son had slapped her and told her to shut up, according to the arrest report. She is suffering from severe health issues, including kidney failure, and relies on a walker. She also said money was tight and that Stockland had been draining her bank account to buy liquor. She was on the phone with a caregiver assigned to her case when Stockland struck her. She told deputies she had been fearful of contacting law enforcement due to likely retaliation from her son, who stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighs 200 pounds. She said when he consumes large quantities of alcohol, he becomes aggressive and abusive. Put mollycoddle on him, Mom. I know you probably need help. This boy's going to hurt you serious. Throw him out. Restraining order. And mean it. When the Philadelphia PA native was taken into custody, 11 pills were found in his pocket. They were his mother's prescribed medication. The mother said she did not want to press charges for the stolen medication. See, makes you an enabler. You have to get tough. Put him in jail. Then you're safe for a little while. And don't bail him out. Stockland was arrested on charges of abuse to an elderly person and drug possession. He was booked at Sumter County Detention Center on a $22,000 bond. Please, Mom, if you're watching this, do not bail him out. Let him sit. In 2021, a villager evicted Stockland and his mother from a rental property for feeding feral cats in violation of the lease. Yeah, I understand that. Concerns about crashes could prompt a change at an intersection in the villages. Sumter County has completed a study which recommends making the intersection at County Road 101 and Woodridge Drive a multi-way stop. The intersection is located just to the north of a New Covenant United Methodist Church, Palm Ridge Plaza, and Southern Trench Plaza. At the intersection, there have been 16 total crashes within the last 3 years, with 14 of the 16 being considered correctable. Of the 14 crashes, one resulted in a fatality. According to the crash reports, the at-fault drivers in those crashes said they believed they had sufficient time to cross the intersection. Based upon the crash history, traffic volumes, and field observations at the intersection of County Road 101 and Woodridge Drive, it is recommended for the intersection to be converted to all-way stop control. There are currently stop signs at Woodridge Drive where it crosses County Road 101. Sumter commissioners are slated to discuss the matter when they meet at 6 p.m. Tuesday, December 12th at Everglades Recreation Center. Well, here's some Christmas-type news. A generation of television viewers came of age when the Andy Williams Christmas Show. It was a holiday staple from 1962 to 1973. I remember it. Do you? And remains a comforting, nostalgic memory for those who watched. Williams passed away in 2012, but the spirit of his music and television specials, like The Spirit of Christmas, permeated Savannah Center on Sunday evening. The Andy Williams Christmas Show had a warm family feeling, and we hope to bring that feeling to you tonight. It was called a tribute to the Andy Williams Christmas shows. A near-capacity crowd came to the event, which benefited the Wildwood Soup Kitchen. Williams often featured the Osmond family on his show. He started his career singing with the Williams Brothers Quartet. They also were frequent guests, so I thought it would be nice to have my family be part of the show. She, along with her daughters and granddaughter, Jen Mahogany and Ariana Schuler, sang Winter Wonderland. Schuler also teamed with Mahogany on a duet, Silver Bells. The talent cast opened the show singing Andy Williams' trademark Christmas song, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. The program was filled with carols, comedy, dance routines, and sacred songs. Also featured video clips and pictures of Andy Williams on a huge video screen behind the stage. Williams' Christmas spirit was contagious on this night. Molly McCarthy and Frank Olive were as spicy as Christmas punch during a simmering version of Santa Baby. McCarthy wore a long, tight white gown, while Olive, who wore a spiffy black tux, paid plenty of attention to her. Bill Davis and Bill McGaughey teamed for a moving and tender version of Little Drummer Boy and Peace on Earth. The singers gathered around a piano as Sarah Killianen played while they sang carols. The group was in spirit form on Jingle Bells. A man-sized gingerbread cookie stole the show on a dance fusion number, Christmas Cookies, choreographed by Linda Bitterly. This wouldn't be an Andy Williams show without a male quartet, Schuler said, introducing the Village's Pop Folk Quartet. The group features Woody High and Jack Strite along with Davis and McGahee. They may not be the Williams brothers, but this quartet delivered harmony and power on Mary's Little Boy Child and Marvelous Toy. The quartet reverently captured the spiritual impact of Silent Night. One of Eddie Williams' favorite songs was I'll Be Home for Christmas. That's what this show felt like. A trip to television past and a trip back home. Well, I wonder how many holes in ones of golf we got this week. Boy, the snowbirds are really piling in here now. Looks like 5. A Village of Tamarind Grove resident scored his third hole-in-one at the Hacienda Hills Championship Golf Course. David Passmore hit the ace on the palms at hole number 3. He was playing with John Foster, Grammy Oxby, and Jason Oxby. Congratulations on your hole-in-one there, David. Remember, beer's on you. A villager hit his 10th hole-in-one Tuesday during the Men's Day tournament at Havana Country Club. Mike Joseph got the ace at Kenya hole number 4 from 121 yards using a 9-iron. Congratulations on your hole-in-one, Michael. A villager got her 6th hole-in-one while golfing at Churchill Greens Executive Golf Course. Trish Bell hit the ace at hole number 9. That's the way to finish her, Trish. A villager was excited to hit his first hole-in-one Friday at the Roosevelt Executive Golf Course. Truman and Roosevelt are 2 executive golf courses. I enjoyed them. I like them. It's more rolly hilly there than in most places. Jeff Wilner, MD, got the ace at hole number 2, playing at 110 yards with a 7-iron into the wind. He and his group watched it go into the hole with a tiny bounce and a few-inch roll. The odds of a hole-in-one are 12,500 to 1. So today was a good day, said Wilner. I'll be buying drinks. Good man. Congratulations on your hole-in-one, Jeff. A villager got his first hole-in-one at the Lowlands Executive Golf Course. Dan Eastman got the ace on November 13th on hole number 1 from 125 yards using a 9-iron. Congratulations on your hole-in-one, Dan. Let's do a couple letters to the editor. See what these people are talking about this week. To the editor, secondhand smoke. Explanation point. The ashtrays are located to the inside of the square sidewalk at the entrance of the dance floor. We have to walk through a cloud of secondhand smoke to get to the dance floor. At the very least, I think the ashtrays should be on the outer edge of the sidewalk. The very best solution would to make the squares a totally smoke-free area. Many times we have been seated at the outside tables at Dunkin' Donuts in Brownwood and have to leave the area because of secondhand smoke. That's sent in by Jerry McDonough from the village of Citrus Grove. Well, I'm not going to say a whole lot about it because I was a smoker for a long time. It's hard to quit. It's truly tough. You just got to be tougher than the smoke. But that being said, I thought all the squares, inside the squares, were all smoke-free, period. They have been for as long as I can remember, unless they've changed the rules. The ashtrays are not inside the square. They should be sitting just outside the square on a sidewalk. maybe just on the edge of the sidewalk, but that's where they should be. If people are smoking inside the square, this could be a rule change that I'm not aware of, but I'll just stop it there before I make somebody mad. I can't imagine being outside at Dunkin's that the square smoke is bothering you clear over there, unless they're smoking at Dunkin's. But keep in mind, outside areas at any restaurant, almost anywhere, is the smoking area. This includes all of our country clubs. The outside area, unless otherwise told, and I've never seen anybody tell anybody, that's the smoking area. And the inside of the restaurant is the non-smoking area. It's always been that way. But I could have swore all the squares are inside the square, and I think some people get the idea that the sidewalk is a square. It's not. The sidewalk that walks around the square, that is outside the square. To the editor, I spent 2 days at Sumter Landing area of the Villages and met very nice people. All were open-minded, well-educated, and we had interesting conversations without any hint of belief in a wild conspiracy or Trump worship. Did I find an island of normalcy and liberal thought in the Villages? That's sent in by Lee Beckett from Tavares. Well, Lee, just by reading your little comment, it sounds like you're insulting people. And it also sounds like you're just trying to stir up trouble. Well, I think that's going to be it for this week's news. I'm not going to do any news on Christmas week. I don't think I'm going to do any kind of video for Christmas week. And with that, I'm just going to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I hope your family is healthy, and I hope you're healthy, and I hope we keep our health, because that's all we got, really. So with that,
Don't leave your keys in the golf cart.
The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. Baby, ooh, yeah, there's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah, there's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. There's something that happens when something that happens when December ends, when December ends, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. It's Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah, it's Merry Christmas, baby.